A city with 1,000 years of history is ready to play host to the future of motorsport as these all-electric race cars are about to do battle on the streets of Marrakesh in the 5th round of the ABB FIA Formula E Championship. I'm Jack Nichols. Alongside me in the commentary box here in Morocco is three-time Indy 500 winner Dario Franchitti, and this is how the grid will line up ahead of this 45-minute plus one lap all-electric single-seater race. The tension is very, very high, the heat is high, and the man hoping to be highest on the podium come the end of the race is the pole sitter, Antonio Felix da Costa for DS Techeetah. He's got the youngest ever race winner in Formula E, 22-year-old Max Günther alongside him for BMW on the front row. Then it's another German powerhouse, Porsche. Andre Lotterer is third on the grid. Fourth is Mercedes, Dario.
Yeah, Mercedes-Benz. Nick de Vries, current Formula 2 champion, a rookie in Formula E, has taken to it like a duck to water.
Eduardo Mortara is driving for the Venturi team, a Monaco-based car manufacturer. And then you have Sebastian Buemi driving for Nissan, a former series champion, lines up in 6th, ahead of Jerome D'Ambrosio for Mahindra in 7th.
Yeah, for the Indian Mahindra team, Jerome D'Ambrosio won the race last year, will be looking for a repeat today.
Then it's Alexander Sims, who was leading the championship after the second race of the season where he took victory in Saudi Arabia. He's ahead of British driver Oliver Rowland for the Nissan team. Then another British driver, James Collado, is in front of reigning champion Jean-Eric Vergne.
Yeah, reigning champion Jean-Eric Vergne missed free practice 1 yesterday because of illness, only 12th in the points, needs to start his season today.
Former F1 driver Brendan Hartley is down in 12th place on the grid. Former champion Lucas de Grassi didn't get everything together during his qualifying run, so he's in 13th spot. 14th is another man who formerly led this championship, Sam Bird, won the first race of the year. He's in front of Pascal Wehrlein in the other Mahindra. Then we've got Nico Muller in 16th, ahead of the other Mercedes of Stoffel van Dorn.
And another man who led the championship earlier in the season, not happy with his car balance. He crashed in Mexico City. He needs a good day.
Daniel Abt starts 18th on the grid. He had a very miserable time last time out. The Neo car is probably the slowest car on the grid, so as a result it's not a surprise to see Oliver Turvey, Blue Peter badge winner, starting down in the 19th spot. Felipe Massa is down in 20th after making a mistake in qualifying, and then Ma Jinghua in the other Neo 333 entry is 21st. These two drivers had penalties. Robin Freitz was given a grid drop for a technical infringement for Envision Virgin Racing. The same true of Neil Jani in the Porsche, who starts down in 23rd. Mitch Evans is the championship leader, but he didn't get across the line in time to start a qualifying lap.
But the lap that he did was the quickest lap. Watch the Panasonic Jaguar go from the back today. Let's see if he can actually get in the top 5 by the end of the race.
45 minutes plus one lap of racing coming up for you here on the streets of Marrakesh. This is the view from Jean-Eric Vergne. He was ill yesterday. He's been complaining on the radio that he's not feeling too good. So it'll be very interesting to see what he can do. Have you been ill in a race car before, Dario?
Absolutely, and he sounds terrible. It's like he's got the flu. He sounds absolutely terrible. So, but he'll as soon as the lights go out, he'll forget all that and he'll be focusing on going forward.
You saw a little flash there of driver's eye, which is something we'll be bringing to you during the race. Formula E, the only championship to have an official camera inside the helmet of these drivers. Hashtag Marrakesh E-Prix if you want to get in touch on social media. Any questions, ping it in and we will answer it.
It's a long turn and into turn 1. How aggressive are the drivers going to be at the start of the race? Very easy to get caught up. There was a big incident there last year, but you've got to make progress, especially if you're at the back of the grid. Got to go forwards.
You've got to have eyes everywhere in Formula E. The championship leader, Mitch Evans, is here at the back of the grid, but for now at least the focus is on the front. Antonio Felix da Costa in the gold and black DS Techeetah is on pole position. Toto Wolff here to watch how his Mercedes cars get on. The BMW is in front of the Mercedes. The blue and white car of Max Günther is second on the grid. Then it is the Porsche and the Mercedes on the second row of the grid. Here come the lights. All 5 lights are on. We go green in Marrakesh. Really good start from da Costa. Nick de Vries has got away quite well. Max Günther drops back, but da Costa gets a great start. Mortara goes up the inside of de Vries. There's a bit of contact. Can't quite get it done. A few crunches further back in the pack. Ma Jinghua goes very wide, but da Costa leads the way. The top 4 remain the same. D'Ambrosio has made up places. He's managed to get past Eduardo Mortara, but Mortara's hanging on. And he's got the inside line now through the long left-hander of turn 3. They're still side by side. D'Ambrosio's on the dirt. He's he's going to lose out now to the Nissan of Oliver Rowland. Andre Lotterer covering the inside as they come into the chicane, but it is Da Costa, Gunter, Lotterer. Oh, D'Ambrosio's in big trouble there as he cuts across the chicane, but Da Costa holds the lead.
And Lotterer cut across the chicane too. You're supposed to come to a complete stop if you shortcut it. Whether he shortcut enough to get a penalty, I do not know. Nick de Vries defending in the silver Mercedes at the head of that group.
Three wide.
Yep.
James Collado around the outside in the Jaguar. He's got ahead of Jean-Eric Vergne and Jerome D'Ambrosio. So Collado, the British driver from Worcestershire, has got up into 8th position, having started in 10th in that green and black Jaguar. Very busy further back. Sam Bird trying to go around the outside of Pascal Wehrlein, but in general, pretty clean. The top two have disappeared though. Nick de Vries is something of a cork in the bottle, albeit halfway around the first lap.
And we've seen this as the season's gone on. The BMWs are very fast out of the blocks. Then they maybe start to struggle a little bit with tyre wear. Will that situation continue today, or have they learned the lessons from previous races?
Down towards turn 1 then at the end of the first lap. There's Collado trying to defend from Jean-Eric Vergne. There we've got, who else? Mitch Evans has made up 2 positions, but that's all on the opening lap, and that's Ma Jinghua, who's at the back of the field. But here are the top 2, right together, you have to say. Da Costa got a good start, but Gunter has reeled him back in the BMW.
And at this point, they're not regenerating, they're not putting energy back into the battery yet, because the batteries are full. That will go on later on, but they're still lifting and coasting. And during this critical early phase of the race, if you can save some energy, you can bank it for later on, and then you can start making attacks on the cars ahead of you, or defend from the cars coming behind, as you see Max Gunter closing up on Antonio Felix da Costa.
So, Antonio Felix da Costa, the race leader, as we go on board with driver's eye. This is inside the helmet of Max Gunter, the BMW driver in 2nd place. This is what it's like to try and overtake for the lead in Formula E.
And just watch his eyes. Look, he's looking down, making a change on the dashboard. Now he's looking back up. He's pressing some different of the switches, changing some of the knobs on the steering wheel, lifting, coasting. Maybe he's starting to regenerate now. That's easy to do. We talk about it all the time. Easy to save energy. Very, very difficult to do it and be quick. And to see Da Costa's just gapped him a little bit. At this point, don't panic. And the car will be telling him, the car beeps in his ear, tells him when to lift, when to coast, when to regenerate. Some drivers will tend to ignore the car, but unfortunately, at some point, it's just going to get worse. As you see, Collado defending from Jean-Eric Vergne, but nothing doing. Jean-Eric Vergne makes the move into turn 1.
So through goes Vergne, the reigning champion. Collado now is on the dirt, and that could leave him vulnerable to the red, white and blue Mahindra of Jerome D'Ambrosio, the Belgian former F1 driver as well. Collado defends. D'Ambrosio looks to the outside, and Alexander Sims in the blue and white Andretti BMW tries to squeak through, but he's not quite able to do so. 41.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. So when the clock counts to 0, there's then 1 more lap after that. Big progress made on the opening lap by Rowland and Vergne. Both have made 3 places. And there's that looks like a bit of a team move there for Buemi. He goes through ahead of Oliver Rowland. So they have switched places.
Both guys in Nissans.
Lotterer is under investigation for leaving the track at turn 5, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, and on the first lap, I think they were quite clear about that, whether they take any action or not. I do not know. Mitch Evans still in 22nd place. Thought he'd have made a bit more progress than that.
Maybe he's just biding his time, because that's the thing in Formula E. There's no kind of rush. De Vries is under investigation as well, but you know, you want to save the energy and have it in the bank almost.
You want to save the energy, absolutely, Jack, but you don't want, I mean, look at the Costa starting to get away. You got to, you know, if you're Mitch Evans, at this point you're not thinking about winning the race, you're thinking about points. Can I get some points? Can I stay in contention for this championship? Because really, nobody's getting away. Can he do fastest lap? There's a point available for fastest lap this afternoon as well. And it's all these little things you've got to think about. You see the attack mode activation zone on the outside. The drivers will be using that later on. Go through that, the 3 sensors. Then you get an extra 35 kilowatts of power, which is a massive difference, percentage terms, of the power the Formula E car produces.
Yeah, you have to use attack mode twice during the race for an extra power boost of 4 minutes, and yeah, exactly as you say, and it's a very tactical, strategical advantage to try and make, with 40 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Onto the brakes, into the left-hander of turn 7. Everybody fairly settled down at the moment, so let's take a look back at the start. Really good getaway from Da Costa.
Yeah, Gunter didn't make such a good getaway. He looked like Lotterer was going to start challenging him, but everybody played nice. They all sort of funneled down into the first corner. Yeah, just a bit of wheel spin, it looked like almost for Gunter. No clutch to release, direct drive, instant torque from the electric motor.
The 5th car back, Eduardo Mortara, almost had a bit of a contact.
Watch Sims in the BMW, the blue and white BMW, cutting the curb as well, and then thought better of it. It was quite tame. Driver's eye view from the start. And look, that's the worst feeling in the world. The guy next just driving away. He's looking in his mirror. Look, he's looking to the right, looking in his mirror. Where is he? Then he's got to focus on the corner again. Missed the apex really on that first lap. Cut the corner on the exit.
And now this is what happened with Lotterer coming into the chicane.
Locked to rears.
And he skipped straight over.
Yeah, so normally the rear braking's taken care of by the regeneration, by the reversing the motor essentially, putting energy back in the battery. This early in the race, as the Mercedes goes sailing past, this early in the race, it's done by the mechanical braking system. You see him on board with Jean-Eric Vergne.
Was this overtaking James Collado down into the first corner, up the inside of the Jaguar driver, and Jean-Eric Vergne on his climb back up the order is now into 8th position.
So if the driver has got 1% more usable energy than the cars around them, that allows them to really take a full throttle for 2 straights. That's about the equation. So that will allow you to make 2 attempts at overtaking. But you've got to build up that 1% gain on those around you to be able to do that. It's very strategic. Anytime you get an opportunity to pass, you better make sure you take advantage of it because it costs you energy.
And as ever, we're in this early stage of the Formula E race where everybody is looking after their energy, trying not to spend it, trying to regenerate it through the brakes and put more energy back in the battery so they have basically more to play with when it matters come the end of the race in half an hour's time.
And they're also following each other. The cars behind are getting in the slipstream. That way they're not pushing through the air, so they can lift off a little bit, keep the same speed up. And that's another way to gain some efficiency, gain some energy in the battery, while still staying up with those cars round about you.
Ma Qinghua, who is in last place, is also under investigation for a jump start. Let's go with the heads-up display on Jean-Eric Vergne. You can see now, you can hear him coming off the throttle, and then onto the brakes. You see the green thing on the right. When that points down, that's him regenerating energy back into the battery.
And that heats up the battery a bit. It won't be such a problem today, but when it's very hot, as we saw in Santiago, it creates a problem. The battery tends to overtake.
Second faster than leaders.
So Vergne being told you're currently running half a second faster than the leaders.
Are the engineers actually lying to him or telling him the truth? Let's see. No, he is. Yeah, that's absolutely true. And we've seen this with the DS Techeetah guys all season. They've been quick, haven't qualified terribly well until today with Da Costa on pole position, but the race pace has been mighty.
There's Edoardo Mortara running in 5th place, the Swiss-Italian, driving for the Venturi team, of which Susie Wolff is the team principal. There in number 48, he's got a slightly wobbly front wing from that contact at the first corner, but he's up behind Andre Lotterer in the Porsche. Now, Andre started the last race in Mexico from pole position, but ended up getting involved in a load of battles and fell backwards. So he has had a podium this year at the first race of the season, but another good points haul would be good.
You hear the coasting now, and then the regeneration again as the motor changes pitch. That's as they start to regenerate. And Lotterer's had a much calmer first couple of laps than we saw in Mexico.
There you see the little purple dash next to Jean-Eric Vergne's name. There you can see the attack mode activation zone. Nobody has gone through it yet. So everybody keeping their cards close to their chest at the moment, but just quickly, that pink thing next to Vergne on the tower on the left, that indicates he has the fastest lap, and that is eligible for a bonus point at the end of the race as well.
And when the drivers do arm attack mode, they think it's going to lose them about a second to actually go through the attack mode. And doing it earlier in the race is going to be dusty, and it's going to be a bigger penalty. But again, that 35 kilowatts of power is massive in terms of percentage performance, and you've got to take advantage of it, these very long straights in the Marrakesh track.
There's the usable energy remaining on the left-hand side, so Antonio Felix da Costa slightly less than Max Günther, so Günther's looking in a reasonable position at the moment, but that's how tight it is in these early stages, as we hear from Lotterer.
Doing a good job, Andre. Full recoup nearly available, now.
That means the battery now, the energy's gone out of the battery enough that they can start regenerating to the full potential of the car.
And that was Fabrice Roussel, who's Lotterer's race engineer, and Fabrice has missed the last 2 races after breaking his leg in a skiing accident over the winter, but now Roussel, who joined Porsche with Lotterer from his old team, is now back, so maybe that will help him. Looked as though Buemi maybe went a little, Roland went a little bit wide there. We're on board with Jean-Eric Vergne, also on Lotterer. No further action after that cutting the chicane, I presume because it was the first lap. Here's Vergne's radio.
2 less energy consumed than Antonio. You consume 0.2 less than Antonio. Really good.
And there is the attack mode activation taken by Jerome D'Ambrosio. But big news for Nick de Vries, a drive-through penalty for the man in third place, the Mercedes driver, for overpower during regeneration. So regenerating too much, effectively. And as a result, that car there, number 17, the silver Mercedes, has a drive-through penalty and will drop back down the order. Vergne, meanwhile, has got past Oliver Rowland finally and is up into 7th place. Real shame for Mercedes. They're looking so strong.
No, absolutely. And you think, well, how can that happen? Well, they're pushing the absolute limits of everything. I'm going to tell them now on the radio.
Okay, Nick, we've got a drive-through penalty for overpower on regen. Let's take it now. Box, drive through. Watch your pit speed.
And now, at this point, they've pushed the limit. They've paid the price. You've seen Nick de Vries going into pit lane. He's got to hope for a safety car. The field closes up because he's going to lose so much ground.
So you see Jerome D'Ambrosio on the tower on the left-hand side there. He's got 4 chevrons next to his name, so that means he's got 4 minutes of attack mode remaining. As I say that, it drops down to 3. So now he's got 3 minutes of attack mode remaining, and he's the only driver so far to use one of his 2 attack modes. Mitch Evans has just made an overtake. I think he just got past Daniel Apton up into 19th place, but it's Da Costa, Gunter, Lotterer then now in 3rd. There's James Collado activating attack mode in 8th position. He had a good gap to the car behind, which was D'Ambrosio, and as a result, he's held on to that 8th place for the time being.
D'Ambrosio was closing in on Collado ahead until Collado also got fan boost, but he's right there with him. It's a battle of the fan boost. They've got 17.5% more power than the cars around them.
Oh, there's a lunge further back. Up the inside goes Lucas Di Grassi, past Alexander Sims into turn 7. Nice clean move from the Brazilian to take 10th place away from the English driver.
And that's classic Di Grassi in the Audi, classic overtaking manoeuvre. Bit by bit, one car at a time, up through the field.
So there's the race leader, Antonio Felix da Costa, a second or so ahead of Max Gunter in 2nd place. So that battle is calm at the moment. Lotterer is 3rd, Mortara 4th, Buemi 5th, Vergne up into 6th place, having started in 11th. He's flying up the order, actually, Jean-Eric Vergne. So there is Da Costa, there is Gunter, there is Lotterer, then it's Mortara, then it's the black and grey of Buemi, Vergne, Rowland. The first Jaguar is James Collado, then the second Jaguar is the championship leader. Coming to us now, Mitch Evans there, swinging through the right-hander, and he's up behind Felipe Massa. So Evans is up to 18th, and then you saw Nick de Vries right at the back. He's still ahead of Marching Hua, but he's at the back of the field compared to everybody else. So he's got a long afternoon ahead now. Vergne's made up 5 places. Evans has made up 6. They're the big gainers as we look at a replay of how Vergne got past Rowland in the bottom right.
Yeah, and Rowland just lifted to lift and coast. Vergne, thank you very much. And then Vergne will have to save some energy at another point. Maybe carrying more momentum through one of the corners, sting off the throttle a little bit.
Whoa, there's a bit of action. Jerome D'Ambrosio fighting hard, and sorry, Vergne, isn't it?
Yeah.
Vergne going past Brendan Hartley. So Vergne up into 13th place. There's the race leader Da Costa for DS Techeetah. Gunter is 2nd, Lotterer 3rd, Mortara 4th, Buemi 5th.
And is Lotterer holding the cars up behind? Because you know, there's a decent gap opened up ahead between Lotterer and Gunter. Almost looks like they're holding them up just a little bit.
Well, we did see in qualifying there was Da Costa, Gunter and Lotterer were sort of in a league of their own, but the Porsche in the race in Mexico wasn't particularly strong, so it looks as though he can't quite keep pace with Da Costa and Gunter at the moment. As they come down now towards turn 3 where attack mode is. We think Jean-Eric Vergne might take it this time, and actually race leader does. Da Costa activates it, Gunter activates it, and so does Jean-Eric Vergne. So Vergne now will try and use that extra power to get past Buemi and up into 5th place.
And watch the dust, look at the dust as Sandberg goes through. Look at the dust, and that just makes it very, very slippery, very difficult to get back to the throttle, and that adds to the time you lose going through attack mode.
Muller and Turvey are under investigation for a throttle map technical infringement, so but they are a long way down the order, so not huge news for the front of the field. With half an hour plus 1 lap to go, Vergne is going to be the man to watch them because he's in attack mode. Can he close in on that man, Sebastian Buemi, and also the 2 cars in front of that? Vergne, if any of these 3 pretty much take attack mode on the next lap, Vergne could be getting past them.
Yeah, Vergne is he's in hunter mode absolutely right now. He's still lifting and coasting. Do what the car's telling him. Beeping again, lift, coast, save some energy. And he's thinking, I want to go. Your natural instinct is to pass ask the guy to stay on the throttle. You do that, you're going to run out of energy.
Look how close Vergne is. He could get past Buemi here with the extra power. He looks to the inside coming into turn 1. And Jean-Eric Vergne is up into 5th place now. Having started in 11th on the grid, that DS Techeetah is flying up the order. He missed practice yesterday because he was poorly. And now here he is in 5th place.
See how quickly it closes the gap to Mortara. That's the thing when you've got the attack mode. As we see Mortara going through, he's going through attack mode, and Vergne, has he got him? Look, side by side.
Coming down to the chicane now, and Mortara might just about hold on around the outside. No, Vergne's through. So Vergne up into 4th place. This is quite the drive from the reigning champion, from 11th on the grid. He's now up into 4th position, Jean-Eric Vergne.
And the next one on his hit list is his old teammate from last season, Andre Lotterer.
Into turns 7 and 8. Vergne already disappearing up the road. That's the DS Techeetah team, and they are looking pretty quietly confident with how things are going. Race leader Antonio Felix da Costa 1.2 seconds ahead of Max Günther. Both of those have used their attack mode, their first of their 2 attack modes, but Lotterer here, well, he's going to be in trouble, isn't he? Here's Vergne's radio.
Still 2 minutes of attack.
He's still got 2 minutes of attack mode remaining.
And you can see the halo above the driver's head. You see some of them are glowing blue. That means they are in attack mode. That's how you tell when attack mode is activated.
Fastest lap of the race set by Jean-Eric Vergne as he continues to close in on Andre Lotterer. Sam Bird to the inside of Lucas de Grassi coming down into turn 1. Bird in the purple Envision Virgin racing car is now up into the top 10.
And the Envision Virgin car has an Audi powertrain, as soon as the car he's just passed.
Good job, mate. Right, eyes forward, max efficiency now. We've got to try and stroke away a little bit.
Stephen Lane, Sam Bird's race engineer, using his catchphrase, eyes forward, which is what he always says to Sam whenever an overtake has happened, i.e. don't get cocky, kid.
Yeah, keep focused. And we saw Lucas de Grassi go through attack mode as well.
So Lotterer has taken attack mode, and now Jean-Eric Vergne is through up into 3rd place. So Vergne now is ahead of Lotterer. Lotterer in attack mode may try and fight back, but Vergne's focus is going to be on Da Costa and Günther in 1st and 2nd positions now.
And he might not pass him, but his other option is to put so much pressure on Vergne that he forces him to use more energy, and then later on in the race, that'll pay dividends because he'll be able to get past him. Let's hear to Vergne's radio.
What's my position?
Currently P3, next lap crypto, please.
Listen how calm he is in the radio. With Jean-Eric Vergne, you know when he's having a bad day because his voice does not sound like that. Very calm in the car. As you said, not feeling quite so well. This is a great performance so far from him and his teammate, Antonio Felix da Costa. Let's not forget, leading the race.
Into turn 1, Jean-Eric Vergne. Lotterer behind him in 2nd place. There's action further back as Sam Bird tries to get past D'Ambrosio, who's trying to get past Collado. We're on board with Bird here to the outside of the red, white and blue Mahindra of Jerome D'Ambrosio, but not able to make the move stick, and as a result, Alexander Sims is coming at him. He might have to cover the inside into turn 3. No, I think Sims is a little bit too far back to make the move. Do any of them activate attack mode this time? No, but they're all queued up a little bit behind James Collado. Felipe Massa, Mitch Evans up into 16th place.
Sims 1 minute 10 remaining behind. De Grassi 2 minutes 30.
So that was Vergne getting past Andre Lotterer in the bottom right, where Lotterer took attack mode and Vergne got past. So there's Eduardo Mortara. Then Sebastian Buemi there in 6th position. And Vergne is back behind Lotterer. So Vergne's come out of attack mode and is now behind Lotterer. So Lotterer's got back past. Here are the winners of Fan Boost: Jerome D'Ambrosio, Lucas de Grassi, Antonio Felix da Costa, Pascal Wehrlein, and Stoffel van Doorn, as Alexander Sims gets past D'Ambrosio and up into 9th place. So Vergne took Lotterer when Lotterer activated attack mode. Vergne then ran out of attack mode, so Lotterer had more power and is now back into 3rd place. Da Costa leads, Günther 2nd, Lotterer 3rd.
De Grassi trying to pass D'Ambrosio.
Collado getting passed by Sims around the outside in front as well. Action everywhere, and Sims is through.
That's
into
a
8th
brave
place.
move. Round the outside, you could see the amount of marbles on the track. You hit those marbles, that's like hitting ice. So yeah, big move.
25 minutes plus a lap to go. Another move. D'Ambrosio to Collado, and there's Contacto.
And look, for De Grassi to come through as well. 3 wide. It's going to narrow down in a hurry up to turn 4.
Is De Grassi going to take 2 places? He is. What a wily old fox Lucas De Grassi
really is.
The Brazilian driver climbing up the order suddenly finds himself in 9th place. 2 drivers in 1 move. Gunter's only 3 tenths behind Da Costa as well up at the front.
You have the same energy as those around you.
Collado being told you have the same energy as those around you.
Here comes Gunter.
But look at this, the battle for the lead on board with the 2nd place man, Max Gunter, and he goes to the outside, coming down into the
11.
left-hander. Can he get it done? They're still side by side. Da Costa holds the place, but Gunter is trying to take the lead now.
And we saw these 2 guys battle out in Santiago in Chile, and it got pretty physical at times. And I think Max Gunter would like to repay that favour. Look, he's shadowing him again. He looks, is he going to go for the outside?
378, what should I do?
He did it.
Great move from Gunter.
For now, Lotto at 2.5 behind. He's running up.
Max Gunter into the lead of the race while having that conversation on the radio, and now Da Costa drops to 2nd, but surely the Portuguese driver is going to want to fight back. Neither are in attack mode. Does Da Costa take it now? No, settles in behind. So Max Gunter, who became the youngest ever Formula E race winner, taking away the record from Da Costa, is now in the lead.
He's trying to save behind me.
And again, with the long straights, he can stay behind and slipstream and get the benefit of that.
Tell me what to do. Just do our pace.
Yes, look forward, look forward.
So I think Gunter's saying there, Da Costa has intentionally gone behind me because now he can sit in my slipstream like what's the cycling called on the bank thing? You know where you
the one I can't remember. Yes,
exactly. Where you go round in the oval and you tuck in the slipstream and then you take turns
massive,
in being in the slipstream.
At this point, Da Costa's going to be lifting off, but still getting dragged along by the slipstream of Max Gunter ahead of him, and it's so much more efficient. And then he can get off the brakes and just coast into the corner and just save energy through this part of the corner while still carrying momentum. To do that, you've got to have the front end of the car turning very, very well. You can't have the front sliding because that means you have to keep coming on the brakes and over-slowing the car, which does not help you be efficient.
Here's a replay then of Gunter. He tried to get to the outside coming into turn 11. Almost looked like he got it done, but Da Costa had the inside. And this was the view on board. And what I noticed here, I wasn't 100% sure where Da Costa was when you're getting on the brakes.
That's the problem you have, Jack. You really, with the head surround, it's very difficult. When you look in the mirror, that's not going to help you. So you can almost hear as well. And because they're not internal combustion engines, don't make any noise. You can't hear that, but you can almost hear the air travelling past, and that tells you somewhat where they are. And sometimes you don't know, and you turn in, and there's contact. Wouldn't be the first time.
And then that was the overtake for the lead. Round the outside into turn 1.
Very impressive. Look in the mirror, you can see to the left, you can see Da Costa, who's still there. I think Da Costa's playing the long game. I think Da Costa is so confident in the performance of his car today that he's just sitting there and just waiting.
And Gunter has been told on the radio not to overconsume, i.e. don't use up too much energy trying to pull away from Da Costa.
Lotto at 2 seconds behind Antonio. We can save into 11.
And now Lotterer is closing in, and he's bringing with him Jean-Eric Vergne there. Those 2 cars are closing in on the back of Da Costa and Gunter, and maybe Vergne's doing the same trick as the DS Techeetah of Da Costa is doing in 2nd place, just having to sit in behind and save the energy and then use it up later.
If I'm Da Costa, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm seeing the Porsche of Andre Lotterer, seeing the white nose, thinking, okay, got that handled. As soon as he sees the golden black nose of his teammate, Jean-Eric Vergne is going to think, oh, he's got the same as me, and we know that Jean-Eric Vergne is aggressive when it comes to overtaking.
4-time IndyCar champion Dario Franchitti alongside me, Jack Nicholls, here in Marrakesh for the 5th round of the Formula E Championship.
Same energy as Antonio. We need to save. You have 1% more than all the cars behind you too.
So Gunter there being told by his race engineer, Brice Gaillard, you've got the same energy as Da Costa behind. You've got more energy than everyone else behind. So let's just keep it calm. But how hard is it to keep calm when you're racing?
Oh, it's difficult. It's absolutely difficult. But that's when the mental. Oh, it's all happening. We're seeing Verlaine.
He was on his fan boost. Verlaine was using fan boost to try and attack Collado, I want to say, but Bird was in the fight as well. It was all kicking off in 10th place.
It's when you, to answer your question, Jack, when the mental aspect of it comes in, when you've got to be disciplined, because you want to just use full throttle, stay on the throttle, and pass the car in front, but you know that you can't. You've got to play the long game, and I think that's what Da Costa is doing fabulously at the moment.
And how old were you when you figured that out? Because Max Günther here, 22 years old.
About 40. No, I mean, seriously, you learn it pretty early. You learn it with different things: tire management, energy management, fuel management.
1.6 seconds behind Antonio.
You know, you've got to. There's more than one way to win a race. You've got to be smart. No, stupid people don't win races, and that's these guys having to be so smart. The workload in a Formula E car is massive.
The Kirin. That's the bicycling.
Yeah, well done, Jack.
Yeah.
Did somebody tell you that?
Yeah, I got a text. 19.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Here's Günther's radio.
Everybody getting closer. Should we stay here in 13?
So now Günther's getting a bit concerned. He's looking in the mirrors, he's seeing everybody close in and thinking, is this a good idea that we're just sort of taking it steady and saving energy, because soon we'll be, you know, able to sit. If at the moment, if he took his second attack mode, he'd lose out to Da Costa and that's it. But before too long, he'd drop down to 5th place.
Yeah, absolutely. And how many times have we seen it this year when somebody gets overtaken, not even with attack mode, just overtaken in Formula E? They're not losing 1 place, they're losing 3, they're losing 4 places at a time. And the more this lead battle closes up, the more that really becomes a danger.
Down towards turn 1. Pascal Wehrlein in 12th place. Look has used both of his attack modes. Everybody else has 1 remaining. These are our 2 race leaders on the streets of Marrakesh. Max Günther, who we're on board with in the BMW, just in front of Antonio Felix da Costa in the DS Techeetah car. The German driver in a German car, followed by an attack mode activating Portuguese driver, and he's going to go side by side and just hold on. So now Da Costa is going to be on the attack. He's effectively trying to undercut Günther here with the attack mode. So he activates it. He's going to be quicker for the next lap, so that hopefully for him he'll be in front when Günther activates his attack mode.
There's no hopefully about it, Jack. He's got to get up to Günther and he's going to get past him quickly and then try and gap him a little bit. So when Max Günther gets his attack mode, his extra 17.5% of power, he's got enough gap that Günther cannot catch him. That's the theoretical strategy anyway. I'm sure something will happen to mess it up.
2-time champion Jean-Eric Vergne we're on board with there in the second gold and black DS Techeetah. Here's Da Costa in the first one, having a look to the outside at Günther, and Günther drops behind Da Costa. So Da Costa in attack mode with more power has cruised past Günther, but Günther still has an attack mode to use. Da Costa has 4 minutes, as you can see from the top left, those 4 chevrons, 4 minutes to go, and you have to use both attack modes before the end of the race.
That would be a good time.
Now you have the gap to Lotterer.
There we go.
The engineer and I agree. Got to do it quickly, because otherwise, you get behind Lotterer and Vergne, and those boys know how to defend.
Now, keep your eye out for Mitch Evans. Here he is, coming up the inside of Stoffel van Dorn into turn 1. So Evans, the championship leader, started at the back of the grid and has now got his way up into 12th position. Günther arms his attack mode, as we were just discussing, so he's now going to have more power for a lap longer than Antonio Felix da Costa in the lead of the race.
Da Costa has fan boost in which to defend if Günther gets up and gets too close to him. And Da Costa's got the fastest lap of the race too at the moment. The extra point for that here comes Jean-Eric Vergne past the Porsche of André Lotterer.
Vergne to the inside, and the DS Techeetah is through past the Tag Heuer Porsche, and Lotterer is up. Vergne is up into 3rd place. As it stands, Antonio Felix da Costa would go to the top of the championship. Pascal Wehrlein, meanwhile, is in the pits. He has picked up a puncture, so that's a real shame for Wehrlein, because he was up in 12th place.
If you can create a small gap in order to take the attack safely.
Don't look now, guys, because here comes Edo Mortara and Sebastian Buemi in the Venturi and the Nissan.
Here's a replay of Alexander Sims going through the attack mode activation zone, losing out to Roland. Whoop. Then having a bit of a twitch as he came back on the circuit through the dusty stuff. That's Roger Griffiths, the team principal of BMW I Andretti, whose cars are currently in 2nd and 8th. And there you can see the 2 Jaguars now together, Evans up behind Collado.
And if the Jaguar guys are smart, they're going to say to James Collado, don't hold up Mitch. As we see Mortara using attack mode in the Venturi, they're going to say, don't hold up Mitch, James. Just let him through and let him get on with it, because he's looking for some good points today. Lots of people using attack mode. 15 minutes plus a lap to go. Business is picking up. If you've got 1% more than the cars around you now, it's clear it's a bigger gain than it was 10 minutes ago.
driver's eye with Sebastian Buemi as Mortara goes past him. So there goes Eduardo Mortara up into 5th place. The Venturi car flashing through past him on the outside. As we come through the right-hander, then into the left. So there's Buemi, who has dropped down to 6th position and is not in attack mode, but he still has 1 remaining. So still some time left. This is Eduardo Mortara on attack mode to the outside of Buemi, and he's able to get past with the extra power. Still his front wing wobbling around a little bit.
Interesting to go to the outside, as we see Susie Wolf, team principal of Rocket Venturi, watching on. Interesting to go to the outside in turn 7. That's a high-risk manoeuvre that late on the straight.
Hashtag Marrakesh E-Prix. Jonathan Dayton says he's watching the coverage and it's encouraged him to come to London. So there we go.
A good man.
Final race of the season, a double-header in London. Robin Freitz fighting here with Felipe Massa. They are doing battle over 16th place. There goes Lotterer. Lotterer loses out.
Yeah, but does he get the curve back, Jack?
To Eduardo Mortara as he activates attack mode. Mortara tries to squeeze him.
Now these two guys, that was when a rock meets a hard place. These two guys know only one way to race, and that is flat out, and they do not give an inch.
Certainly do not. 14 minutes plus 1 lap to go. There you can see Vergne and Buemi are the only 2 drivers in the top 10 that have an attack mode remaining, with 13 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Da Costa still in the lead of this race. I say still, he swapped it a couple of times with Max Günther, but he's now 1.2 seconds ahead of Max Günther in 2nd spot. Vergne in 3rd, Mortara 4th, Lotterer 5th. Günther now, you can see with the clock ticking down on the tower on the left-hand side, 25 seconds left in attack mode. Jean-Eric Vergne, we think, will do attack mode next lap. Da Costa now has the little purple stopwatch next to his name. That means he has the fastest lap of the race. Into turn 1. 13 minutes plus a lap to go. France has got past Felipe Massa for 15th position. Mitch Evans and James Collado still together. They're up behind Jerome D'Ambrosio in 10th place. There's Robin Freitz also going past Stoffel van Dorn. So Freitz, after a disappointing qualifying, climbing up the order. And as predicted, there is Jean-Eric Vergne activating his 2nd attack mode. Now he's 3 seconds back from Günther. So even with the extra 35 kilowatts of power for 4 minutes, that's going to be quite a
big
tough ask.
Yeah, but it also depends, Jack, how much energy has he got compared to the guys in front. Can he use that extra energy to close the gap? Because with attack mode, you do not get extra energy to use that extra 35 kilowatts of power. With fan boost, you do. So you've got to again be really strategic in how you use attack mode and fan boost.
Da Costa's looking good on energy here, you know, 30%. He's got fractionally more than Max Günther. So there's Da Costa in the lead. 2nd is Günther. Then a gap back to Vergne, with Mortara 4th, Lotterer 5th, Buemi 6th. Then the Sims blue and white BMW, and then this battle between Oliver Rowland and Lucas di Grassi. We're on board with Lucas di Grassi in the Audi, up behind Oliver Rowland, the man from Barnsley, in the Nissan.
And watch Oliver Rowland defending, moving around under the braking zone to try and hold Lucas di Grassi back. And Oliver Rowland, we saw it last year, even in his rookie season, he was not afraid to mix up. He didn't care who you were. He was not afraid to mix it up with anybody on the track.
Called Felipe Massa an idiot on the radio, didn't he?
Yes, he did. In his 2nd race, I think it was.
Yeah.
Welcome to Formula E.
11 minutes plus 1 lap to go.
Oliver Rowland, he does not look quick enough. Lucas di Grassi is all over the back of him. Oliver Rowland is really sort of struggling through the longer corners. I don't think it's going to be long before Lucas di Grassi makes a move.
Meanwhile, Evans has got ahead of Collado. Freitz now is on the back of Collado while in attack mode. So Freitz trying to make another peachy move and get up the order a little more as they get onto the brakes into the left-hander, Rowland and di Grassi. 11 minutes plus 1 lap to go. And Freitz has got past Collado now and up into 12th place. But Evans is up into the points at least from the back of the grid as far as the Jaguar driver is concerned. Oh, Mortara and Lotterer! Mortara in attack mode, Lotterer in attack mode, forces his way past. through the right-hander and out over the start-finish straight again.
Look at Lotter's helmet. He keeps looking down. He's adjusting a lot of different things on the steering wheel. He looked on the way down into turn 12, looked down, adjusted something, looked down again, adjusted on the exit. And Mortara is all over the back of him. So not only is he having to keep the car on the track, going as fast as possible, defend, but at the same time make all these adjustments to the car to keep the car in its sweet spot and keep it as quick as possible, keep it as efficient as possible too.
10 minutes plus 1 lap to go here in the 5th round of the ABB FIA Formula E Championship on the streets of Marrakesh. This was the move from Lotterer. Mortara covered the inside. Lotterer...
A bit of contact.
Yeah. Lotterer did his thing where he just drives straight into people, but no real harm done this time as he came into that left-hander and got the move done. Blue flags waving for Marcin Hua, who's getting lapped in a 45-minute plus 1 lap race. And Da Costa is leading the way, 1.2 seconds ahead of Gunther. Vergne in third, closing in, but still a second back with a minute of attack. But he might, you know what?
He might do his 0.6 back now, Jack.
He might get Gunther here. We're on board with Vergne, started 11th. But he's now managed to climb up into third place, right on the back of Gunther. De Grassi is using his fan boost to try and get past Roland here as they come down the back straight. The two are wheel to wheel. De Grassi locks up. Roland holds the position. Good effort from De Grassi, but Roland keeps 8th place.
And the frustration level will be getting higher as we see Jev.
He's
passing
through.
He's good at 1-2 at the moment for DS Techeetah.
Jean-Eric Vergne up the inside and ahead of Max Gunther. What a good move from Vergne, using his attack mode perfectly. And now, as you say, Dario, DS Techeetah have a 1-2. But Gunther has slightly more usable energy compared to Vergne with 8 minutes to go. Da Costa is kind of checking out here. He's doing a really good job.
And Vergne has come from 11th on the grid. What a performance. And it just shows the pace that we've talked about all season long for the DS Techeetah team. It is in there. And they've been fighting it out with the team championship leaders, the BMW Andretti.
On board with Max Gunther. In driver's eye now. Neither are in attack mode, so now it's all about just racing on the track. Gunther has a little bit more usable energy compared to Jean-Eric Vergne in front. You can see here on the left-hand side the throttle application, and then in a minute you'll hear them come off the throttle and you'll see the regen go green. That's when they're regenerating energy.
Try and pass Jeff to not let Antonio go away.
There's the regen, and then there's the brake.
And when they're regenerating, they're actually using a panel, regenerating. You have a paddle on the back of the steering wheel that they pull during the braking process of a corner. So they're doing quite a lot of different things. They're not just accelerate, brake, and turning. There's all kinds of things, and have to be very dexterous to be a quick Formula E driver. Good word, I know, Jack.
Dexterous?
Thank you.
I did not know you had that in your locker. So, well, Gunther defended, but not quite enough. Vergne found the inside.
And Jean-Eric Vergne is one of those drivers, when you're behind him, you think twice about trying to pass him because he is so aggressive again. You see Max Gunther kind of half thought about it. If it was the other way around, Jean-Eric Vergne would have just kept pushing him into the pit wall. And I don't mean that in a bad way, he's just an incredibly aggressive driver.
So Vergne has made up 9 places. Mitch Evans in 9th place has made up 15. Robin Freins has made up 9. Big losers Nick de Vries, but he had a drive-through penalty, and Pascal Wehrlein, who had a puncture. But what is this battle going to be with 7 minutes plus 1 lap to go? There's the stressed face of Roger Griffiths, the team principal of BMW Andretti.
Mitch Evans got the fastest lap of the race as well.
Yeah, and he's just got past Oliver Rowland up into 8th place. Evans carving his way up the order. Jerome D'Ambrosio's just used his attack mode to defend from Sam Bird. Here's Gunther's radio.
2% less.
Oof. If they're telling me he's got 2% less, yeah, here we go. No,
than Jev.
Yeah, Jev's got 2% less than him.
Exactly.
That's not a bad position to be in, but I'll tell you, Jean-Eric Vergne's going to make it difficult to pass.
Replay on the inside of Mortara getting done by Buemi. So that's Buemi up into 5th place in the Nissan, getting in front of the Rocket Venturi of Eduardo Mortara. James Collado is under investigation, but he's dropped down for leaving the track at the chicane, but he's dropped down to 16th place now. That's Michael Carcamo, the global boss of Nissan Motorsport, watching as Sebastian Buemi is now pretty much on the back of Lotterer here. So Buemi has kind of been quiet throughout this race, but now the Swiss driver is right up behind Lotterer in the battle for 4th position.
Look how much the driver's head is bouncing around on these bumps, and this is a smooth circuit for Formula E. Wait till you go to Paris, wait till you go to Rome, some of these other tracks that are just so bumpy. This is probably the bumpiest part of the track through turn 6 here at Marrakesh. Otherwise, it's pretty smooth.
Gunther and That's Ma moving out of the way, but Sims heading up and through. Gunter only 3/10 behind Vergne in that battle for second position. Is it going to be a DS Techeetah 1-2, or can BMW get in there and spoil the party? Max Gunter right involved in this fight now.
Or if you're Andre Lotto, you're thinking, I wonder if these two guys ahead are going to take each other out in the next 5 minutes plus a lap.
5 minutes plus 1 lap to go, as you say. Through the final corner, the right-hander at turn 12. Out over the start-finish straight again and heading away from downtown Marrakesh. We're about a mile north of the hustle and bustle and the tagine of the Medina.
Easy for you to say.
So easy for me to eat.
In a normal lap, you use about 3% of energy in a normal lap. And it used to be the early Formula E races, you're like, oh, they finished the race with 2%. Ooh, that was pretty close. Now they're getting to 0.x, point of a percent, crossing the finish line. We saw it last year in Mexico City, where Pascal Vergne lost the race. The car ran out of energy in the last 20 feet of the race. It's that close. Just keep your eye on this last lap. Maybe not so much with Da Costa because he's so far ahead, but everybody else in the field, how close they are.
On board with Gunter, right behind Vergne. Not close enough to make the move. I think Da Costa's got away from them, you know. I don't think Gunter has enough, even if he gets past Vergne, to close in on Antonio Felix da Costa. And this is why we've said it so often, and we've not really seen it much this year. You need two quick guys, and I'm not throwing shade here on Gunter's teammate Alexander Sims because he's won a race already this year. But if you can have two teams in the fight at the front, it just gives you so many more possibilities.
Yeah, you're going to have... The days have gone of having one strong driver. You've got to have two. And if you've got a fast car, you better make sure you take advantage of it because it's going to chop and change throughout the season. There's
Gunter
Vergne
goes for
defending.
it! Oh, and Jeff comes across, and that's some dodgy defending there from Vergne, isn't it?
Did I call that? I told you he was going to do it. That's Jean-Eric Vergne. He's going to make life so difficult and get right to the edge of the rules. Let's see what Gunter thinks of it.
You will have another chance, 4 laps remaining.
That's a good message. That's not what is he doing. Bubba's like, no, you'll get another shot.
And that's experience of an engineer just saying, right, come on, calm down, it's all right. And Jean-Eric Vergne is 5 seconds behind Da Costa. Da Costa at this point is going to start maybe just slowing down a little bit, not taking any risk. You don't need to win by 5 seconds, just back it off a little bit.
You keep your head cold, keep your head cold. Mode 3 is available.
I think Mode 3 might be the rocket assist.
Here's a look at the replay then. On board with Gunter, this is what Gunter sees. He decides to go for it.
Look at the gap, there's a gap. Oh no, there's not. Oh, he came so close to hitting him. It's a late defense. It's easy to make when you're sitting here making the calls and say, oh, the official should do this. If you're actually the official, look at close. Right, locked up, back and front.
Whoa.
Down to turn 11. Getting towards the end, you can see the figures going yellow now, 9%, 8% left. But Gunter's got a little more, Jack.
Here we go, down to turn 1. He's a little bit further away this time, Max Gunter, than he was the previous lap, but Vergne is aware to it and covering the inside a little more, just driving in the middle of the track a little bit more.
And if we get to the position where they've got enough energy to go flat out down the whole straight, that's going to make life so much more difficult for Max Gunter to overtake. Again, that 1% is what it takes.
You have 1% more than him.
Oh, and that's exactly 1% will allow him to go flat out up to turn 7, up to turn 11, and attempt to pass Jean-Eric Vergne in front.
Buemi is now up into 4th place, and Mortara has got past Lotterer as well. So Lotterer has lost 2 places, but we're focusing here on this battle for second position between Jean-Eric Vergne and Max Gunter.
Mitch Evans is very close to Alexander Sims. Mitch Evans in 8th, Alexander Sims in 7th.
There's a look to the outside, not quite enough. In fact, Evans is right with Sims, Lotterer, Mortara and Buemi. Here's a replay on the inside. That's Buemi getting past around the outside of Lotterer going into 7. That was a nice move from Sebastian Buemi.
You can see look, the steering of Max Gunter behind. He's getting a bit ragged on the wheel. He's got a nice and smooth, calm it all down, not lose his temper.
A lot of you pointing out on hashtag Marrakesh E-Prix, not a single yellow flag this whole race.
This is so unusual.
Have I jinxed it?
Well, 48 seconds plus a lap to go.
So this now is going to be the penultimate lap of the race. 2 laps to go.
Here comes Gunter.
Looks to the outside. On the radio, I'm being told he said, chill out till the last lap.
Who said that? Did Gunther say that, or did his engineer?
His engineer was told that.
It's easy to say, but if you wait till the last lap and you don't make the move, it's all over.
Yeah.
I'd be looking to make one move on this lap, just in case.
Meanwhile, Alexander Sims has got past Andre Lotterer as well, so the Porsche qualifies well, but really...
And Mitch Evans
has just done it.
From the grid.
Yeah, so the Porsche qualifies well, but does not have the pace in the race, unfortunately, as we clock ticks down to 0 now. And we've got one more lap to go at the end of this one. Gunther to the outside again into 7, trying to force Vergne into an error, because you're not going to be able to get through there. We're on board in the helmet of... And Sims has got up into 5th place now, in the helmet of Max Gunther. Here's his radio.
He will fade away on the last lap.
He will fade away on the last lap because he's got 3%, Gunther's got 4%. Surely Gunther's got 2nd place here.
Mistake is fighting a lost battle. We will get him, mate.
Copy.
Good to know. That's good information if your name's Max Gunther right now. Not so good if you're Jean-Eric Vergne.
Mortara's got past Sims, so all the positions are changing further back. But this is the battle for 2nd place. Da Costa starts the final lap, but is this the final chance for Max Gunther coming down into turn 1? The black and gold, DS Techeetah covers the inside, Gunther to the outside, lock up, wheel to wheel, he's going to be on the dirty stuff, we're on board with him in driver's eye, and Vergne holds the place just about.
But does Vergne have enough energy to finish the race? It's going to be so close.
Sebastian Buemi is coming to join the party as well. Gunther still, as you say, has more usable energy than Jean-Eric Vergne.
Some damage to the left side of the BMW, Jack. It's not big in any way, but there's some bits hanging off.
Final lap of the race in Marrakesh. Mitch Evans has managed to get back up into 6th place, having started in 24th. Here's Da Costa coming towards the final couple of corners on the final lap, but the battle is on for 2nd place, down into turn 7. Vergne covers it. Gunther.
He's got one more chance, Jack. What after this? It's turn 7, turn 11, and that's it. So Max Gunther is going to get everything ready and try and make the move, braking into turn 11. So this is turn 10.
And look at Buemi. Buemi in the Nissan is right with them. Here comes Da Costa. He's coming through the final couple of corners, but turn 11 is going to be where the battle for 2nd place comes. Look, Vergne's going to run out of energy, surely. Jean-Eric Vergne's going to run out of energy. Da Costa out of the final corner. He wins the race, and Gunther's into 2nd place on the final lap. Can Buemi get Vergne as well? Through the final right-hander at turn 12. Max Gunther finishes in 2nd place. Vergne looks as though he's hit 0, so is Buemi. That was right close at the end, but Da Costa takes the win. Gunther in 2nd place.
Is it P2?
Jeff, P3. Well done, mate.
But did he run out of energy?
Yes! Let's go, boys!
What a dive.
That slapped! That slapped.
In la procédure,
And that is the first race win for Antonio Felix da Costa for his new team, DS Techeetah. Everybody hit. The thing is, when it hits 0, everybody hits 0 at the line, so it's difficult to but they're all celebrating. Let's speak to this man, Antonio Felix da Costa.
Let's have a chat with him.
Mate, you had an impressive day. Impressive day, Jeff. What a comeback. Well done, mate.
And that's da Costa congratulating Jean-Eric Vergne.
Let's hear from him. Antonio, it's Dario on TV. Congratulations. What an incredible drive. 11.5 seconds ahead of 2nd place.
Yo, Dario. What's up, mate? Yeah, thank you. I had to play a little bit of a strategy card in the middle of the race there. Gunther was being very efficient behind me, but yeah, we had the plan well studied and it worked out. We're back. Let's go.
Congratulations. First win for DS Techeetah. Well done.
Thank
That is the 3rd biggest winning margin in Formula E history.
When were the last 2? They must have been in early seasons.
Yeah, 2015 Putrajaya and 2018 Hong Kong. So here we go. Gunther got the dummy, got the inside of Vergne. He did that really well.
He really did. That was a very, for a young guy, what a tactically astute race.
Because you would think Vergne will just cover the inside the whole way, but he did fall for the dummy.
Yeah, well, Vergne couldn't cover both, and Gunther would have been able to just drive around the outside. The question is, did Jean-Eric Vergne run out before the line? That is close. Those late moves, I don't like them, because they can lead to one car climbing over the back of the other. Well, that was there were some great comeback drives. Mitch Evans, P6.
Yeah, wow.
You look like you got a bit excited there.
Well, Alexander Sims suddenly is not on the timing. So
Did he run out of...
I don't know.
Yeah.
Very odd, because he was up in 5th place. Evans finished in 6th. There's Jean-Eric Vergne. A valiant drive from Vergne, you have to say.
Look, and you can tell he's not... He's really not been well. But this will make him feel better.
Yeah, and Da Costa will be very, very happy with that. As I say, his first win for the team, his 3rd win in Formula E. He was the youngest race winner. He was 23 when he won in 2015 in Buenos Aires. Max Günther took his crown, but he didn't take his crown today as Antonio Felix da Costa on top of the car. And must be on top of the championship, Antonio Felix da Costa. He had a, Antonio Felix da Costa to the top of the championship standings with that victory. Very impressive drive. Günther and Vergne have a high five. And they skip over to get Wade now, Antonio Felix da Costa. Such a happy man when things... Oh, so there's Sims. Alex.
Looks like he's looking at a drive shaft, Jack, at the back of the car.
Just disappeared on the last lap. And look how disappointed he is, because he'd had a decent drive. He was up in 5th place. And something has gone awry. Great drives throughout the order. I'm going to ask you for a little driver of the day here. It's impossible, so that's why I'm doing it.
Oh, thanks, Jack. Appreciate that. I mean, you've got to say either. I think. Oh, I'm not going to pick one. Da Costa or Vergne or Mitch Evans. I mean, Mitch Evans' drive was mighty. So yeah, thanks for that, Jack. Who's your driver of the day, Jack?
I think it's got to be Vergne. I mean, the man was so ill yesterday he didn't race. Had to go to the doctors and all that kind of stuff. He's come from 11th in this tougher field to finish in 3rd place. But Evans was great. Evans came from the back of the grid and he set the fastest time, so he would have been in Superpole. You know what? I've changed my mind. I'm going Evans. Was
this better than Evans' drive in Mexico that you thought was average?
Correct. Yeah, this is a really good drive from Mitch Evans.
So many great drives up and down the field today.
So many stories up and down the field, isn't it? And I did jinx it also with the yellow flag because there was one at the end for Alexander Sims when he broke down. So not a full field of finishers, but a very happy Antonio Felix da Costa. And he's going to go, and we're going to hear from him in a couple of moments' time. Already spoken to him on the radio with Dario, but we will hear from him in a moment or two as he takes his first victory for DS Techeetah, a double podium finish. And we now can go down to Parc Fermé and join Nicky Shields, who's speaking to the race winner of the Marrakesh E-Prix here in ABB FIA Formula E. Over to you, Nicky.
Antonio Felix da Costa, absolutely superb win. Great use of attack mode to take the lead of the race and then winning by such a margin.
Yeah, I mean, I had to play a little bit of a brave card in there. You know, I kind of let Maxi get super close at one point, and then I kind of pushed him into using the extra energy he had on me. I knew he was a bit better, so I kind of forced him to use that. And then the second attack mode is, you know, I was controlling Andre. And basically, you know, when he's close enough, I'll use it, and it worked out perfectly. So I think we had a good plan in our mind, and, you know, amazing preparation back home. All the guys in Paris, you know, we do a lot of hard work, and it pays off. So that one slapped. That one was really cool.
What a result for the team to have both of you on the podium.
I mean, I have to say, for Jev, hats off. I mean, this guy had a tough week. Jev had a tough week, so hats off to Jeff, because he had a hard day. I think he's struggling right now, but he pulled the podium for the team, so well done.
Well, first win for you for the team and first podium together. Enjoy.
Antonio Felix da Costa, the winner of the 5th round of the ABB FIA Formula E Championship. And that is the 5th winner in 5 races this season. Very, very competitive, to put it mildly, Formula E. And I think that might be a new record. Yes, it is a new record. 9 winners in 9 races. Let's go back down to Nicky.
Well, Max, I mean, incredible race. The battle that you were having with Jean-Eric Vergne towards the end was superb, but you did make the move stick.
Yeah, it was intense, definitely. Fighting against both the Techeetah cars was a good race. I think all in all we managed well. Towards the end it became quite exciting with Jeff when he passed me in his last seconds of attack mode. But yeah, we knew we can manage it with the energy, and to make the move 2 corners to go for P2 is for sure a very nice feeling. I'm happy for P2 today.
Was it nice knowing that you had a little bit more energy than him during the most of the race?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was impressive, I think, what he did, the recovery that he did during the race, and yeah, we had this energy advantage compared to him, and that's what we used in the last stage of the race.
Thanks very much, well done.
Yeah, 9 winners from the last 9 races. Isn't that crazy? Going back to last season, of course, but I don't know, still counts as far as I'm concerned. And 5 winners from 5 races in this season. As we look across over the podium where everybody is gathering to celebrate the victory of Antonio Felix da Costa, Max Günther finishing in 2nd, Jean-Eric Vergne finishing in 3rd, Mitch Evans in 6th position after a very, very strong performance. But it is Antonio Felix da Costa who takes victory in Marrakesh. He's going to be on the top step of the podium after a dominant drive. So there's the podium getting ready. The officials and dignitaries will make their way over there, and so will the top 3 drivers and a representative from the DS Techeetah team who took the victory. And a 1st and a 3rd as well. That's good work from them, and it's going to haul them up in the Teams Championship, actually, DS Techeetah, because they were in 4th position, but that's going to be a big haul of points to climb them up. We'll bring you the championship standings shortly. But here's a look at the results after 34 laps of racing. Antonio Felix da Costa, the winner, 11.4 seconds ahead of Max Günther, the 3rd biggest winning margin in Formula E history. Jean-Eric Vergne 3rd for the other DS Techeetah team. Good drive from Eduardo Mortara, actually. 5th place for the Rocket Venturi driver. He started in 5th, he finished in 5th. I think that's a solid effort at the first big points of the season for the Venturi team. Mitch Evans, last to 6th. Full credit to the New Zealander. Very impressive. Sam Bird was the last of the point scorers in 10th place. Then we had Jerome D'Ambrosio finishing in 13th position. Stoffel Van Dorn never really made much progress. James Collado will be frustrated that he slipped back. The 2 Geox Dragons had a horrible day out there. Oliver Turvey finished in 21st, fairly lonely, and Marcin Hua finished a lap down. He had to serve a drive-through penalty though. And Alexander Sims retiring on the last lap of the race. And this is a look at the Drivers' Championship. Antonio Felix da Costa now on top, 11 points clear of Mitch Evans in 2nd. Then it's the 2 BMW drivers, Sims ahead of Günther, with Lucas de Grassi completing the top 5. But now the gap is up to 20 points, 1st down to 4th, so they're really starting to spread out. Jean-Eric Vergne finally has got some points on the board and is up into 8th position. We've still got 4 pointless drivers: Oliver Turvey, Nico Muller, Neil Jani and Marcin Hua. And James Collado picking up a few more points to go up to 16th, level on points now with Robin Freitz. And in the Teams Championship, DS Techeetah, I thought they'd rock it up. They've gone to the top, 8 points clear of BMW I Andretti Motorsport. Those 2 are really pulling clear of Panasonic Jaguar Racing, most of whom's points are coming from 1 driver. Still, Neo 333 looking for their first points of the season. So very entertaining race here in Marrakesh. Here's a look at Maximilian Günther. This is him fighting with Jean-Eric Vergne, sending the dummy. That's brilliant stuff. Locked up, didn't know if he'd be able to get it stopped, but he just about could. Look at it again. Vergne goes to the left as we look at it to cover him off. Günther sees the opportunity. Whoa, that was so close between them. So close. Here's a look at the replay. This puts heart in mouth stuff there. Wow. The finest of margins. Great performance from obviously everyone in the top 6 had a really strong race. Andre Lotterer, actually. Lotterer, let's not forget, he was never really in the fight for the lead, but certainly involved in the contest for the podium. But he ended up finishing behind Lucas de Grassi. This was de Grassi sending it up the inside, coming into turn 7. He managed to keep ahead of Oliver Rowland by 6/10 and Sam Bird, but Porsche have a lot of questions, I would say, because the pace is there over 1 lap, but not so much over the course of the race distance. As you see the crowds gathering, it looks as though some of the BMW representatives are down there at the front, ready to celebrate with their drivers. The rest of the drivers and teams will be there soon, before too long, no doubt about that, as Da Costa takes his race victory. A very impressive drive from Da Costa, and he sealed his 3rd podium in a row. He was 2nd in the last 2 races, and now he has taken the win. He said he needs to work on his qualifying. He took pole position, and when he starts on pole position, he's taken the win. Very impressive from Antonio Felix da Costa, the 28-year-old from Lisbon in Portugal. Used to be part of the Red Bull program. He won for that team, BMW, last year, hence the hugs all around. Max Günther getting the embraces as well. Mark Preston there, the team principal of DS Techeetah, on the right-hand side in the glasses. The drivers making their way now towards the podium. Da Costa, who rose through the ranks very quickly, but Formula One never quite came to him. Ended up in Formula E with the Aguri team.
Let's do it. Oh man, this one feels good.
This one feels good, says Da Costa, and he's got to be very happy with that. Cool glasses, actually. I like his glasses. Are they they're getting darker as well? Are they those adaptive ones? Very nice. Oh, he's not going to wear them though. There we go. That's the. If I say something's good fashion, they take it off immediately. That's not surprising. As Da Costa, as he always does, drapes himself in the Portuguese flag. As they wait for the podium procedures to get underway. Günther happy, as well he might be. That's only his 2nd points finish of the season. Didn't score any points, but then got a win in Santiago, and now a 2nd place. So he's got a 1st and a 2nd, and then 3 non-points finishes. So very much inconsistent season so far for Max Günther, who was dropped last year for a period of time by the Dragon team, ended up finding his way at BMW, and then has secured himself a seat. So Antonio Felix da Costa, the race winner.
Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue à la 5e manche du championnat ABB.
Time for the podium presentation ceremony here in Marrakesh. The 3 drivers on the podium. There you can see Da Costa and Max Günther. The Michelin man giving a wave to the crowd. First of all, it's Mark Preston, the team principal of the DS Techeetah team. He's been in Formula E since the start, has Mark Preston. Originally with the Aguri team, which is what DS Techeetah started life as. And it's Bastian Schuck, the Senior Vice President of Global Marketing and Communications at DS Automobiles, that is going to be on the podium for this one. A proud moment for Bastian. No, it's, yeah, a handshake with Jamie Regal, the CEO of Formula E. That little step on the far side, that's the one. 3rd place, a really impressive drive from an under-the-weather Jean-Eric Vergne. He's not doing the traditional run through the crowd. because he is not feeling at his best. And you know when people pretend they're a bit ill, honestly, one look at Jean-Eric Vergne, that is not a well human. Onto the third step of the podium for the reigning double champion, but a big smile on his face nevertheless. Max Günther for the BMW I Andretti Motorsport team. Up the steps, onto the podium. Second podium of the season. Moves up in the championship. High fives with all the dignitaries, and then up onto the second step. But the race winner, the 2020 Marrakesh E-Prix winner, his first win for DS Techeetah, Antonio Felix da Costa. A hug from Mark Preston at the bottom of the stairs, a leap on the podium. 3 podiums in a row, the new Formula E championship leader. Bowing his head in appreciation of Vergne's efforts. But I get the feeling Da Costa will be feeling ill tomorrow, as he is on the top step of the podium. And now we will have the Portuguese national anthem for Antonio Felix da Costa on the top step in Marrakesh. And now the DS Techeetah team, DS Automobiles supplying the powertrains to the Chinese Techeetah squad. And now the Chinese national anthem. A win for Antonio Felix da Costa and the DS Techeetah squad. So many stories to tell from that race. Absolutely crazy. Mitch Evans' climb from the back of the field. Keep your eyes on the Formula E YouTube channel over the coming week, because we will bring you all those stories in big depth. Alejandro Agag hands out the winning team's trophy. And now Jean-Eric Vergne receives his third place trophy. The country managing director of ABB Morocco and French-speaking Africa, Pierre Loretz, hands out the trophy to Jean-Eric Vergne. A third place finish, probably one of his toughest races, you have to say. The head of ABB Formula E Partnerships, Daniela Lucianin, hands second place to the BMW I Andretti driver, Max Emilien Günther.
Presents the trophy for the first place. Présente le trophée de vainqueur.
Karim Kassi Lalou, the governor of Marrakesh, hands the trophy to Antonio Felix da Costa. the
time
third
for the drivers to take a selfie
in his
shared
Formula
on
E career.
Instagram to show that you were all
Now the
here.
traditional
Les pilotes vont
Formula E
maintenant prendre
selfie
un
on the
selfie
top
avec
step.
une fan qui sera partagée sur les réseaux sociaux de la Formula E. And now it's time to
But now it's time for the celebrations. A great performance from Antonio Felix da Costa. The ticker tape flags fly. The colours of the Moroccan flag, but also appropriately the Portuguese flag for race winner Antonio Felix da Costa. He launches himself to the top of the ABB FIA Formula E Championship. He and his teammate Jean-Eric Vergne launched themselves to the top of the team's championship. What a day for the team and for da Costa himself. A superb performance. Da Costa victorious in Marrakesh. All the team up onto the podium. What a race it's been in Marrakesh. This season gets more and more unpredictable every race. Jean-Eric Vergne hugs all round. A really strong drive from Vergne. From 11th on the grid, don't forget as well. Super impressive. But let's take a look back, shall we? What was a very busy Marrakesh E-Prix. The 2020 Marrakesh E-Prix. Beautiful sunshine. And an entertaining race we were set for. Lucas de Grassi brought his son along. Didn't want to be on telly, I don't think. Pascal Wehrlein getting ready to go. Mitch Evans, after a qualifying disaster, had to start at the back of the grid. Jean-Eric Vergne, not feeling well, missed yesterday's running and would be in 13th. But Antonio Felix da Costa, his DS Techeetah teammate, started on pole position. When the lights went out, it was a really good start from da Costa. He fired away into the lead of the race. Mortara had a bit of contact with Nick de Vries at the first corner. And this was the view into turn one, on board with Max Günther with driver's eye. Bumpy track this in Marrakesh. Andre Lotterer made a bit of a mistake at the first lap at the chicane, went straight over and carried on. Jean-Eric Vergne started his attack. First on his hit list, James Collado. The Jaguar driver dropped a place. Bit of hip and shoulder there with Pascal Wehrlein. Andre Lotterer was under big pressure from Eduardo Mortara. Next up, Vergne was past Oliver Rowland, ahead of the Nissan driver. Then he got past Buemi, then he got past Mortara. And then da Costa and Günther were in this chess battle over who wanted to be in the lead of the race and who wanted to save energy. As Roger Griffiths watched on, the team tried to calculate. Da Costa went back, looking for the outside. Da Costa was back in front. Günther was then under pressure from Vergne. Vergne got in front, and da Costa at this point was starting to pull away. There was Jean-Eric Vergne up the inside into the first corner. He was in attack mode. Günther, though, was being told to play the long game. He had more energy. He went for it, round the outside. The two were wheel to wheel. But he was on the dirty stuff until the final lap. Wonderful dummy from Günther, up the inside of Vergne. Through into second place. Really good performance. He took the checkered flag, but some 11 seconds earlier, Antonio Felix da Costa had taken the win in Marrakesh and moved himself to the top of the ABB FIA Formula E Championship.
Yes,
So in my opinion, Mitch, I think you deserve a pay rise. Oh, we're on, sorry. Hi, welcome back. Yes. Mitch, an outstanding performance considering how shaky qualifying was.
Yeah, you're right. Obviously, we're all a bit down in the dumps after quali. We've been quick all day. We're quickest FP2. Actually, my lap in quali was the quickest as well, but obviously wasn't valid. So that was really hard to swallow. Obviously, being championship leader as well. Those are the mistakes you don't want to be making. We took it on the chin and obviously had a storming race from the back.
I mean, you've got to be feeling strong. That dominant win in Mexico City. Yeah, problem this morning, but you came right back through the field. It's got to make you feel like you are one of the boys to beat for the championship.
Yeah, I mean, after we got the issue in qualifying, the biggest thing for me was just to try and send a message to the rest of the field to go, look, even if these things happen, I can come back. And those are some of my moves there, which I think there was like 18 of them. So
there were some smooth moves, old son.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome racing. That was quite close, but yeah, we had a really aggressive plan and we stuck to it, and it had played really obviously beneficial towards the end of the race there. So exciting, but obviously I'd rather be towards the front.
You've put in two contrasting performances. Obviously you had a 4-second victory in Mexico last time, right? Dominant, Dario was saying. Jack Nicholls, not so much.
Who cares what Jack says?
Well, you said that, not me.
Did you hear that,
but
Jack?
This performance, all the way from the very back to end up 6th. Just talk us through your state of mind as you're going through the field, because obviously this isn't just a personal performance, this is a performance for the people that were involved in what happened earlier on this morning.
Absolutely, you know, we're all hurting, so I knew you know, the best thing to do was just to try and put it behind us and send a huge message, and we did that. Honestly, I think this is on par with the victory in Mexico, maybe even better, with no safety cars, you know, no real retirements. Most of them are genuine overtakes. You know, this was a big race.
What was your favourite move of the day?
Honestly, I can't remember all of them.
On the dance floor later on, surely after that.
Of course. To be honest, I need to watch the race back because I can't remember all of them. Yeah, I mean, just the whole race is quite satisfying.
So, compared to last year, what is different in there? What is different in the mind of Mitch Evans?
Not much, to be honest. Obviously, there's a bit of confidence now because we've had a few good races, but to be honest, just everything's starting to come together. Obviously, we saw glimpses of that last year in the second half of the season. We've got a whole new powertrain, and we've just been building on really strong foundations. And obviously, the more consistent the car feels and predictable it feels to me, that brings confidence and lap time in this category.
And finally, Mitch, you said that this season is a progression of everything that's happened before. It's coming to fruition, all the technology, all the development that you guys at Jaguar have put in. You're showing some outstanding performances, and the car really has pace.
Massively, you know, I feel very comfortable behind the wheel, which in this car is not easy to manage. So it's just a huge thanks to everyone behind the scenes. This is like not an overnight sort of success. You know, this has been like at least 2 years of real pain. You know, in season 3 and 4, and obviously we saw a lot of it come to us last year, and now it's putting all the fine details in, and fortunately we've got a nice little purple window that we don't want to let go, and it's an ever moving target in Formula E. So if we can hang on to that, that's going to really pay hopefully important for the end of the championship.
All right, well, you go and put your feet up like a Kiwi would. I'm sure there's something on ice just behind the car.
Whatever it is, you deserve it.
Yeah, well done. Awesome performance from Mitch Evans. I think you'll agree, Dario.
I mean, absolutely. There wasn't a scratch on that Jaguar either. I had a good look at it, and he went through the field, and just that is a championship contender's performance, because it's easy to go through and overdo it and get carried away and batter a corner off the car. Not a scratch on it. Right now it looks like it's a Da Costa Mitch Evans fight, with maybe Jean-Eric Vergne sort of poking his nose in as well, I would say.
Well, that performance moving from the back all the way to 6th, that's really kept him amongst the points. I mean, he's still second, let's not forget that.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a good haul of points where, here's Jack Nicholls.
Here he is.
If you to get 10th and get 1 point, one thing, but I think every point's going to count this year, and he did a phenomenal job today.
Yeah, we were saying, Jack, that was a really important performance from Mitch Evans to maintain himself in the top 3 of the Drivers' Championship.
Well, we came into the weekend thinking this is going to be a big one for him, because he has the chance to really extend that championship lead. All goes wrong in qualifying, but that recovery it could almost define his championship.
Was it dominant?
No, because he came
Was Da Costa's drive
Da Costa's was
dominant?
good. Da Costa's was dominant.
11 seconds.
Third biggest winning margin in Formula E history.
Yeah.
Only two, obviously, one with bigger.
All right. Well, I think that this debate about he's absolutely shattered, because I'll be honest with you, the TV compound is about 3 kilometres away. So well done for getting here on time, Jack. Here's your microphone. There you go. Well done. Let's take a look at the start of the race. Jack and Dario, you talk us through it.
Da Costa, again, he got every single thing right today, including the start.
Yeah, absolutely. Gunther's start was not that good, and I thought he was going to come under pressure, but not at all. And the BMW is notoriously quick on that first lap, but no, you know, you saw Da Costa sort of stretched it away a bit, and then just started playing the gap a bit. It got a bit action-packed behind, absolutely. You know, Sims on the curb and all kinds of things happening.
I felt a bit for Nick de Vries. You saw him there in the fight. He was running in 3rd place. Got a penalty for a technical infringement, so he could have been involved in that whole mix.
Let's talk about Lotterer. 3rd on the grid. He had pole in Mexico, had a shocker on turn 1 in Mexico, but he was just sliding down the field here in Marrakesh.
Porsche have got big problems. Really good car in qualifying.
Yeah, race problems.
But I can't see them getting a huge amount of points this year if that's the kind of race pace they have.
And they were flip-flopping at the front of the grid, Da Costa and Gunther. Let's take a look at that, shall we? Because that was a real highlight.
Yeah, this was strange, wasn't it? It was like a chess match.
Well,
you know?
nobody wanted to lead because they felt that they were more efficient running behind the car in front. And we should talk to a man that actually might know, Mark Preston. Do you think, Mark, did anybody want to lead today? Congratulations, first of all. Did you guys want to lead?
Not necessarily. It's better at the end, right? Yeah, there's a bit of slipstreaming there going on. I think everyone was trying to save energy, and they're just trying to manage the gap to the rest of the field, basically.
Now, Mark, at the top of the show, Dario was saying that, you know, because you have a reputation for success, because Jev is back-to-back champion, people might think that you kind of gone on the slide a little bit. However, you put all of that to bed today. Outstanding from both drivers.
Yeah, I mean, Jev was exhausted, you saw, so I'll have to go and see how he's going afterwards. He did an amazing job, and obviously Antonio just, you know, controlled the whole race. It was brilliant.
Electrolytes, that's all he needs. Let's take a look at Da Costa
taking the lead. Look at that. I mean, just round the outside and, you know, aggressive, but not overly so.
No, he did a brilliant job. I'm sure we'll find out later in the debrief all of the details, but it looked pretty. It was pretty nerve-wracking anyway on the TV, though.
So, did Jev have energy crossing the line?
Yeah, he's pretty good at managing it down to the last segment.
That was impressive if he did, because
he did that in Monaco, don't forget, last year.
Yes,
so.
Yes, he did, absolutely.
We've got a quick clip of Jean-Eric Vergne taking 2nd from Gunther as well. He's a ferocious driver, Jev, isn't he? He was absolutely outstanding today, both in attacking and defending.
He's back in his element, isn't he? That's what we need him.
He should have Friday off more often, Mark.
James in on Fridays and then you on Saturdays, I don't know.
Yeah, but as you say, it's a great word to describe him. Ferocious. I mean, when he makes a pass, he's not sort of half, oh, maybe have a go. He goes. And then when he defends, boy, does he defend too. But on the last lap, you know, there really wasn't any defending from Max Gunther, just managing the energy. You know, you can see him just trying to get to the end. Were you guys talking him through that?
I mean, I think we're all on the radios. We could hear them and you guys talking and everybody. So I think everyone was trying to manage everything to the last minute, and obviously they did a great job at BMW, and Gunther did a good job right at the very end, didn't he?
Antonio, now top of the Drivers' Championship. You must all be, as a collective, very, very happy with that.
I think we top them both, I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, do you know what? We never want to say Formula E, because something always changes, because there's probably someone in the field who's done something wrong which will change the order.
True.
Do you know what? So for now, congratulations. However, that might be like a memo for later. But yeah, Mark, absolutely awesome today from you guys at DS Techeetah. Truly outstanding performance, Dario. I think you'll agree.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know, the domination of the win, 11.5 seconds, but then the drive from Jean-Eric Vergne. I think it shows now that you guys, championship winning team, you're back to where you need to be.
I hope I answered the questions that you asked me before the race.
Yeah, and then some.
Yeah, you did indeed. You did indeed. I'll take the mic off you.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining us. You go and celebrate.
Congratulations.
The shirt is still dry, Mark.
I know.
Usually it's wet through after a podium.
So next race maybe.
All right, fair enough. There you go. Thank you very much. Off you go. You go and celebrate with the team. Jack, come on back in. That's really laid a marker down for Rome, because let's not forget Mitch Evans got his first ever victory in Formula E in Rome.
Well, we had a little game at lunch, me and some of the TV gang, and they say to me, if you could pick one car, 2 drivers, 1 team principal, which would you pick? and you kind of go, whoa, just everything from DS Techeetah. Like, that's difficult not to, you know, fight against. They've got the strongest driver pairing on the grid, probably, to me. And I think this championship bout, today, we've seen the championship contenders, DS Techeetah and Jaguar.
And what a great move to take Antonio Felix da Costa and replace Andre Lotterer because he went to Porsche. Seamless.
Brave move.
And I quote, the best pairing they've ever had at DS Techeetah. Brave statement.
Big statement, but I don't think he's wrong at the moment.
Yeah, very good. Jack, quickly, we've got 20 seconds. Just summarise what went on today.
A really good race, clean race as well. Not messy, nice, clean, liked it.
All right, we absolutely loved it. The sun is shining. Hope you enjoyed today. It was absolutely phenomenal racing from everyone. Make sure you join us next time, once again, when we go green in Rome. We'll see you then.
All 5 lights are on. We go green in Marrakesh. Mortara might just about hold on around the outside. No, Vergne's through. Max Günther, and he goes to the outside. Da Costa holds the place. Jean-Eric Vergne, he's through.
Max Günther 1-2 at the moment for DS Techeetah.
Jean-Eric Vergne's going to run out of energy. And Günther's into second place. Da Costa out of the final corner. He wins the race.
Yeah!